I'm in Capalaba, a suburb of Brisbane, with the man behind the NRL Physio phenomenon, Brian Sini. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Happy to be here.
So we've also reached out to the NRL Twitter community and we're going to try and answer a couple of the questions that you guys sent through today as well. So you've amassed somewhat of a cult following and your profile is on the rise with appearances on Fox Sports and analysis for The Telegraph. So tell me, what was the inspiration behind the NRL Physio account?
I guess it probably wasn't as straightforward as I just came up with it on my own. I joined Twitter initially because I was part of an NFL fantasy league. Seeing the appetite that people had for that sort of sports injury medical information, there were a couple of accounts over there that, were getting quite a lot of coverage for information that, I sort of thought, and certainly my, fellow physio friends and stuff thought was pretty simple information. And I thought there's nothing like that in the NRL, or really there wasn't much in Australian sports at all really. I just kind of thought, okay, well, what do I call it? It's, I'm a physio, I'm commenting on NRL injuries, I'll just call it NRL Physio.
Very creative.
Yeah, that's right. It didn't take long to think of that one.
Yep.
And just sort of went from there. I really didn't expect much out of it. And and it's just gone from the strength to strength, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, very impressive. You're obviously a real fan of the game. How many games would you say you watch?
Certainly when I was first starting the account, it was a lot. I would say probably 7 or 8 games a weekend I was watching. Now,
do you have time to do anything else?
Well, this is the thing. Like, in saying that, I would say I still probably watch like at least probably half the games, and probably 4 to 5 I would say on average every weekend. With the coverage the account has now gotten, there's a lot of followers, so if an injury happens, my phone goes crazy.
It blows up,
so I tend to know, yep, sweet, there's an injury that's happened. Just the fact that I've got that fan base now that lets me know, and that's really useful. So if anybody out there, if there's an injury and you think,
guys annoy him at any time.
Yeah, that's it. Just tweet me because it helps me, if I'm at something. Yeah, it's definitely come down a little bit now. I don't have to watch as much, but I still try and cover as much as I can. So whenever I'm free and watching it, it's good to be able to give that information.
Yeah, well that kind of brings us to our first Twitter question as well, which comes from Shane, who wants to know if the expectation of keeping up with every injury in every game can be a little bit overwhelming.
Like, I put a lot of pressure on myself initially because I was kind of like, it's all new. Like, I didn't really know much about it. I was like, well, if I'm going to make this work.
I guess it caught on so quickly as well that it would have gone from 0 to 100.
And then I was like, oh my God, like I did feel the pressure a little bit sometimes to sort of be like, even if, there was a little ankle injury that the player stayed on with, I'd be like, I have to analyse that. So I guess you get smarter as you get a little bit more invested in it now, and I know now I try and probably only cover either A, like the major injuries, so if something major happens and a player leaves the field, or B, if I get a lot of questions, or if I just think it's going to be of public interest.
What's the weirdest thing that someone has asked you to comment on or
weirdest
diagnose?
thing. All right, that's a good one. I would say the weirdest ones I get is probably like animal injuries. So like people so like dogs hurting their ACLs and stuff. Like, what should I expect from a dog who's just done their ACL?
How many weeks will he be out?
And literally that question, like, how many weeks until they can run again? And I'm like, not a vet. So that's always challenging. Probably another one which is like only amusing to me as a physio, and I mean this in the nicest way possible to the people who are sending this to me, but they'll just send me a photo of their foot and it's swollen and they're like, what have I done? And I'm like, I can't do a lot there. Or I'll get like a message saying, I felt a pop. What could it be? And, so I find those quite, funny because I'm like, look, as much as I'd love to help, and I really, really would, there's not much I can do in those situations. The best advice in those cases
Sorry,
is
guys.
Go and see a physio.
Go see a physio. Your local physio.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you've earned the ire of certain clubs, I guess, for doing something similar, disseminating information without doing a physical assessment.
Yeah, definitely.
How does that make you feel?
I'm just educating, giving general info. I think there's a bit of a misunderstanding about what I'm doing. They think that I'm trying to say that I'm I'm assessing them and this is what it is.
The be all and end all.
That's exactly right. And I think something that I always stress, and I'll stress it again here, is that I'm not diagnosing. Like, what a diagnosis implies that you are the treating physician or physio or whatever, and you are doing a physical assessment, you're looking at scans, all that kind of stuff. I'm just analysing.
Do you think NRL clubs are transparent enough in their own injury reporting?
I think complete transparency probably isn't going to happen, and it's not probably a smart idea to have that happen, because look, at the end of the day, what we do forget, or some people forget, is that these players are patients too, so they have a right to privacy for their medical information, and look, that has to be maintained. But in saying that, also, the fans, they're very important to the game as well. They drive the game, and so information for them is very, very important too. And that's kind of why I started the account, because I found that there was that gap in information.
There's already been some pretty serious injuries this season. What impact do you think the weather and I guess the condition of some of the grounds has to do with that?
Yeah, look, it absolutely has an influence. I guess the biggest thing is that every injury is multifactorial. Right, and where I guess people can get a bit stuck sometimes is they say, well, why did this oval cause that injury? And there's so many things that have to go wrong in a perfect storm for most injuries to happen. It's quite funny, something that people might not know a lot of is that actually the worst or the highest rate of injury is for grounds that have the best grip. So so like over in the NFL is a good example, like AstroTurf and stuff like that. They've actually got the highest rate of ACLs, ankle sprains, stuff like that.
Another question that's come through from Twitter is that there seems to have been a huge rise of pec injuries. This one actually came through a couple of times. Can you comment on why you think that might be?
There's a lot of factors that go into this one, and I'll name a couple, but certainly one for me is bigger, faster, stronger. That's what it comes down to, is that our football players these days are athletes, and not that they weren't athletes in the old days, but they are
a different build.
That's it. Like I saw something on NRL.com the other day comparing the average size of players at different positions, to 10, 15 years ago, and we've pretty much grown in every position. So that, look, when you've got bigger bodies, you've got bigger muscles, your tendons, which is usually where you tear the pec, the tendons stay relatively the same size. They don't grow like muscles do. You can get this big pec muscle. Injuries like pecs, like Achilles, like ACLs and stuff like that, the forces going through these areas are just a lot greater. I think definitely, there's the rise of gymming and stuff like that, so we obviously are a lot stronger in those areas. That can contribute a bit of fatigue and stuff like that. Bossy loves his theory of the tighter jerseys. So there hasn't been any studies done yet on it, and he said that we should commission one. But there's another theory.
You're right behind
as
you
well. Of course.
What does the future look like for you? Do you want to expand the little empire that you have? What do you want to come out of this?
Yeah, look, like as I said earlier, I still just see it as a really fun hobby. And look, all the opportunities that have come up are crazy. I can't say that enough. I don't have some business plan in place or something like that. I'm a partner here at Active Care, and that takes up a lot of my time. I've got our first bub due later in the year.
That's so exciting.
Which is super exciting. My life is very full at the moment, and it's going to become even more full. It's just, I guess, growing that audience, that's probably the biggest plan. Be able to give information and education to more people.